Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our manga for today is Captain Harlock, the Classic Collection, Volume 3 by Seven Seas Publishing. Now there is violence, killing, execution, fighting, explosions, but then of course aliens in this one. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, now, as always, with this, the story and art are by... excuse me. The story and art are by Leiji Matsumoto. And, yeah, okay, that's about it. Alright, so this is the final volume to the classic collection of Captain Harlock. This is where it was all supposed to come to the conclusion. When we last left our heroes, they were about to be attacked by the Maison. Yes, they were about to be attacked with an explosion. Now this begins with them managing to dodge it, because as Captain Harlock has said more than once, it's a good thing there's no up or down in space. So they manage to avoid it and continue onward. Along the way, as they fly to find the fleet, they meet Zero's children. Remember the alien from Volume 2, Zero the Tokagin. They meet his sons that he told us about, and they come to the planet of the Tokagins, where we find more pyramids like there were on Earth, and we find out that's like a womb for the Maison to where all their seeds are. Because they go into this planet because Daiba goes Tadashi, here on the cover. Tadashi goes out and he tries to fight off the ships without permission from Captain Harlock, and he gets captured by the Tokagins, and they use him to bait Captain Harlock to go to their planet and to see the pyramids. But then they get out, and the Tokagins rebel, or mainly the two sons of Zero rebel against the Maison. Which, of course, because of that, Queen Lafaricia orders to destroy the planet. So his two sons are now the last remaining of their species, which is quite depressing, just like my May. Anyway, they keep following the ship. Well, the ship decides to follow their ship. They get the brothers inside. At first, it seems they are mortally wounded, and only a Tokagin doctor can help them. But of course, they're all dead now. But then they somehow seem fine, because they fall asleep, and then they just leave the crew and continue on their own. So I guess they weren't that mortally wounded. It's a bit weird one. Anyway, we continue, and we go from Harlock to Lafaricia. She wants the crew to discover, what... Again, it seems to be implied that the Maison created the humans in some way, or had a lot of influence perhaps in their evolution. Still, anyway, we continue. We come to this planet. Buggers. I can't remember the planet's name now. What was it? Alright, they go to this, they go to this planet. I'll leave the name of the planet here. But anyway, it's a planet that Harlock's friend, the famous friend that we hear all the time about, that's where he lived, and that's where he was buried. He and Harlock spend a lot of time there. As at some point, we go back to the Prime Minister of Earth. For some reason, I thought, something might happen. Nah, we just So they can't find, they still look for some reason for information about Captain Harlock. Well, at least he moved on to worry about something else other than golf and parties, so I suppose progress. Thank you. But all they find is information about his friend, who we at least get a name for. His name is Toshiro Oyama, I think. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's his name, Toshiro Oyama. I'll leave that on the screen here too, just in case. Some reason they say he was gluttonous and had myopia. I'm not sure what myopia is, so you still need to look that up. Some condition, which is interesting. I don't know if it just says that in the file, if it had anything to do with anything. I don't know. They don't know his age, and that's all they know. Then the Prime Minister gets summoned. It looks like plants are starting to consume planet Earth like they did for Maime's planet. The Mazon are doing the same thing. Of course, the Prime Minister isn't going to do shit. And he himself is going off to that planet that Harlock's headed to. And that's it. We don't hear from him after that. But to be fair, I completely forgot about him, so that's okay. When Harlock starts to arrive at that planet, we're in this bar. In what looks like kind of an old western town. There's this old, salon keeper. And then there's this guy who hears the ship and is like, is that Harlock? And the old man, yeah, of course it is. And then this other guy just bolts out of there, leaves all the money he owes and just leaves. It's like, I can trade my guns for a place on someone's ship. Whoever this person is, is obviously afraid of Harlock to the death. He didn't want to face him at all. And that's it. We don't know anything else about him. Harlock comes to the planet. The girls stay on the ship. That's Maime, Kai, and the cook lady. They're the only ones on the ship besides the computer. And while the other guys go to this bar salon, they eat, they drink. Harlock goes to see where his friend is buried. There's a stick, and on it there's this hat, and also the ship. I forgot the name of the ship as well. But anyway, the other ship, I'll leave it here as well. I have a lot of information to leave on. Yeah, the ship's name. And then he goes to the bar himself, and that's where he encounters La Faricia. And I think this time it was actually her. Yeah, I think it was actually her. She wanted to talk to Harlock before their fight starts. But then suddenly the Harlock ship gets attacked by the Mazon. But it wasn't by the orders of La Faricia. It looks like the Mazon acted on their own in this case. Which is quite surprising with how tight of a grip she has on them. You'd think they wouldn't dare move a finger without her commanding them. But yeah, the ship starts to get attacked. Maime's on her own because Kai and the cook lady are completely out of it from alcohol. But no, of course the ship protects itself and it blows up the Mazon ships that are attacking. La Faricia and Harlock part, and they hope to talk again. She goes back to her ship. They go back to... before they go back to theirs, they hear an explosion. Because Harlock says, nah, the queen will keep her word. We can stay here and have a few drinks before we go. And from the sky falls a Mazon High Command soldier. Probably the one who disobeyed La Faricia. She's been executed and dumped from the ship. Also, with something else new, we learned that looks like the higher up the Mazon are, I guess maybe the lower, I don't know, maybe lower class Mazon are like flowers, and the higher ones are like wood, maybe. Because this one doesn't burn because she'd been shot in the chest, but she's not burning. Earlier on, after the ship has been attacked a lot on Tokagin, they stopped on this asteroid of theirs. They stopped on it, and it stopped to go in to have repairs and have everyone rest. And the Mazone lost them, and then two Mazone on the ship. Two Mazone on the ship. Oh, sorry about the noise. Two Mazone warriors on the ship. They went on the asteroid. At first, it looks like they're there to investigate, but they're just playing ball. And because something exploded inside the asteroid by the first mate, they went to investigate, and Harlock and his crew had to kill them. But they also didn't burn. So it looks like the higher up, maybe the higher Mazone are made of trees. Because they're still plants, after all. So, yeah, that happens. Then Harlock's bird, Tori, they doesn't want to leave. He was very much attached to Tochiro. So he cries before the grave. But then they start leaving. Harlock came there to say goodbye, before the fight. And then the first mate releases a rain of alcohol, because apparently Tochiro really loved drinking. Makes you wonder where he found the time to build everything, like the Arcada, if he was always drunk. Because Harlock says, that'd be nice, or he'd drink a lot and sing, and... a multitasking gentleman indeed Tochiro was. Yeah, so that happens, and then that's it. That's where it ends. They're about to go on the journey to fight the queen, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. I was shocked. I was like, wait, that's it? We don't get to see a fight even? Not even they're about to get in on each other. And it's not even that, like, that was it. Oh, man, I was so disappointed. It was like you're about to reach the climax, and then, you die halfway through. Oh, man. Okay, I guess I get it. It kind of closes an open ending. Harlock's gonna go on and fight Lefaricia and try to save the Earth somehow. Because the Earth's pretty fucked. But so many questions are left. Okay, we finally found out the name of the friend at the very least. I was like, oh man, we're gonna end it and not even know his name after all this time. But like all this teasing we had about the Mazone maybe creating humans. All that, we find out nothing about that. That doesn't lead into anything. Perhaps that has a reason, but man, I'm still looking forward to find out at least some confirmation about that, but in the end it leads nowhere. And Tadashi actually talks to the computer, but the computer obviously it answers, but I guess only Harlock and Maime can understand it, or something. We didn't even get an answer to that. Is the computer then Tochiro? But Tochiro's buried. Also, another thing we find out is that Queen Emeralds is probably alive. So Harlock's been lying to Tadashi, then. Because she's still alive, because he asked, the old barkeeper, he knows Harlock. They've known each other for a long time. And he asked about, Queen Emeralds and another friend it was, I think. If they stopped by. And he said no. So it's just... Okay, so she's alive then. So she didn't die with Tochiro then. Oh, it's so many questions. Such a unsatisfying end. Really is... I remember I was kind of disappointed in the ending of Dororo. because we also there's also things left that we didn't get to find out. But still, that one it concluded more or less. You get in. There's like a little bit at the end where yeah, this happened. But here, that's like it. We don't even get to see a fight with the Mazon. I was so looking forward to it. And then it just didn't happen. I was so disappointed. I mean, I suppose I wasn't as disappointed as I was when I read It by Stephen King. That ending, That ending was a real disappointment. I was like, fuck me. After all this is what I concluded. This is what it concluded. But I mean, with Harlock, it was an interesting read. I mean, the first manga was a tad bit weird. How the ship worked and stuff was a bit odd. But once I got used to it, and I can definitely see why it's a classic. There's just something about it that just makes you fly through the volumes to finish reading it. So I can't say I didn't enjoy myself. There's just so many things that they would start saying them, and then they would lead nowhere. And it's just like, why? I mean, I get it. And not all questions, in stories are meant to have answers. And some things are left, intentionally ambiguous. And are left for you to figure out on your own or to, decide on your own what you think happened. I get that, but, like at the very least, could we have seen a fight with a Mazon like Harlock at least reaching the fleet? Something, come on. At the very least, get a confirmation. Yes, the Mazon created the humans. Because there's so many questions, like why have the Mazon waited so long to conquer Earth? Why not do it before humanity even evolved? Because they were there before. This thing that the Prime Minister's called for is they find a block of ice. I think it was 70 million years ago. Where there's Mazon women in it. Honestly, it looked like an orgy in there. All these Mazon women splayed on each other. It looked like an ice block of an orgy. No, that could be a name of a movie. Ice Block of Mazons, the porno. I don't know. Obviously it wasn't, but the way they were displayed is just hilarious. And of course I have a dirty mind. But yeah, it's so many questions. So many things I'd like to know. And I won't be able to because that was it. And then at the end, we had a bonus story where it was the Queen Emeralds and Captain... Or perhaps versions of Captain Harlock and Queen Emeralds. Because in that one, they flew blimps. Their ships were attached to blimps. Like the Hindenburg. And that's how they were flying. And Queen Emeralds had a whole crew of females. And Harlock had his crew of males. Now, his first mate looked pretty much the same. And they both... Queen Emeralds was looking for one half of a treasure map. Harlock had the other. The ships encountered each other. And then they tried to get each one on board of the other to get part of the map. And then there was a bird there that looked like Tori, but wasn't Tori. Anyway, long story, the short there. They leave. Harlock and his men leave. They leave the ship. Lafaricia. Why do I keep remembering Lafaricia? Queen Emeralds and her pilot. They get separated because the monsoon begins, I think. Then Queen Emeralds and her pirates, they get suddenly in line of enemy ships that were looking for them. And they're about to be attacked, but then, conveniently nothing happens until Queen Emerald's bird reaches Captain Harlock's ship. She eats the first mate's plane model. So they catch the bird and cook it. And when he gives Harlock a leg of the bird, he sees that half of the map is attached. I thought there would be a note, like, come help us, but I guess maybe... Holy shit. Technical difficulties. Sorry. I thought there'd be a rescue note. I guess he figures out that if she gave him the map, that she thinks she's about to die. So they come to their rescue. She gives him the other half of the map. Or not gives him, but he already has it. He goes off to this island. But the other more ships come to attack, to follow him. Like, there's a trap on that island. So, Queen Emerald tells her crew, we're going with them after all the last two pirates. The last two pirate crews, I guess. And that's it. And then there's, like, you know, legend says that you can still see the two blimps flying next to each other till this day. And that's it. I was so bummed after the ending. It took me another hour before I could finish reading the bonus story. It's just like, oh man, that's it. It ended. It ended. We didn't get answers. Not all of them. But still, regardless of how disappointed I was, I still very much enjoyed reading this classic collection. It was definitely an experience, and I don't regret reading it. Now, on some exciting news, though, there is another series. Captain Harlock one. I don't exactly remember what was the title? Something Voyage, maybe? But anyway, it's a new series of Captain Harlock, a manga series. It started in 2017. It's again by Leiji Matsumoto, but it has a different artist. But stories by him, and it has about 10 volumes. I already ordered the first volume. And I want to try that one. What I'm curious about is it going to be the exact same but with a different artist? Or is this going to be a different story? Because Tadashi is still going to be there, it looks like. Although I think in that story, they meet differently, him and the captain. Because in the classic story, they met because the Captain Harlock saved him. The Maison killed Tadashi's dad. And they were about to kill him, and the Amazon was about to kill him, but Captain Harlock intervened. So, it'll be interesting how it happens here. It's a lot of versions, you know, there's the mangas, there's the animes as well. So I guess every time is a little bit of a different iteration. Would be interesting, though, to watch the anime. Maybe I'll try to find it, and maybe I'll watch it. We'll see. We'll see if I do. One thing I do want to do now is rewatch the movie Captain Harlock, just to see if I can recognize what elements they took. I mean, obviously things are different, so I want to see it again, see what I think now. What would I prefer now after I read the classic collection? But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this. I do look forward to seeing how the new series is. But I'm gonna try it first before I run to buy all of them. We'll see how it will be. Alright, folks, so that is it. Let me know what you thought of the Captain Harlock, the classic collection, if you read all of it. Did you enjoy it? Did you find it weird? Are you frustrated by the ending, or... you know, you found that the ending very much fit the story. Yeah, so let me know down below if you feel like it. Alright, so that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!